Hey everybody. So what I'm doing today is revamping my garden bed, vegetable garden bed. I have not done any vegetable gardening yet this year, and it's already mid-June. What you see in here is kind of the things that have survived since this past winter. I've got some Swiss chard in there, some kale. I did plant some bok choy, I think in April, but then I just neglected the garden, and there's a lot of hard clay in here. I think that's a Brussels sprout that's well eaten up by critters, and some carrots. Carrots are actually doing pretty good. I pulled one out. It's not a bad sized carrot. I'm going to leave the rest in there. But there's a lot of hard clay in here. I had mixed some clay soil with some homemade compost. You can see my compost area over there. It's a hot mess. I'm gonna work on cleaning that up. But I had mixed compost, and I have some chickens over there, 3 little bantams. They're adorable, but I use their chicken poo and kitchen scraps, veggie scraps, and then ashes, just miscellaneous dirt from around the property when we dig up and plant plants, and extra dirt's left over. All that gets put in the compost, and so I put that in here. But there was a lot of clay in here, and so when it gets dry, this stuff gets really hard and it just chokes plants. So what I've been doing in this wheelbarrow, I've mixed up a bag of, I believe it's composted manure and humus, and then a bag of topsoil and a bag of potting mix. So I'm just going to top dress this whole area and then wet it down real good. And I'm going to plant some seeds. And I think having this light fluffy mix on top will help keep that clay and stuff moist underneath in this hot sun, because I don't have any irrigation to this bed. So it bakes for most of the day. It's not quite full sun. In the late afternoon, we've got some big trees here that shade it. So probably from about 3:30 or 4, it's in the shade. It's in full sun until about 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon. So and I had a bunch of salvia growing in here. I pulled all of it out. Most of it went around my rose bed over there by the windmill. There's a windmill way over there. And so I planted it at the back there. I do have roses in there, but they're not doing so great, so you really can't see them from here. Anyway, the salvias are really pretty. I think it's a salvia farinaceae. So what I'm thinking about doing, since those are newly transplanted over there, I'm probably going to cut them way back, and then I'll bring the actual flowers in the house and put them in a vase. I think it'll be pretty. And then I have the old steps to our mobile home. These are the old temporary steps that come with the home that we were using until we built our porches. So I've set this up here with some landscape fabric underneath it to keep the weeds down. But I thought about painting this and then setting pots, pots of herbs or something up the stairs. I think that'll look really pretty. So this is kind of what I'm going to be working on for a little bit. It's kind of late in the evening. It's going on 6:37. So I'm just going to work until it gets dark, and then I'll come back out tomorrow and see what I can get done. I'm not sure what I'm going to plant in this bed yet. I did bring out a bag of seeds, probably because it's so late. It is June. I probably won't try to do tomatoes because it's going to get too hot. But I do have some pepper seeds. I have bell peppers, banana peppers, and some Cubano. I think they're Cubano peppers. And I may go ahead and try some squash. We have a long growing season here in Southeast Texas, so it's going to stay warm till the end of October. So as long as I have enough, daylight, I should be able to grow quite a few things. So I'm going to get to mixing this dirt and get this bed top dressed and watered in real good. And then if I still have some light left, I may get some seeds planted. So, wow, this looks really good. Really pretty. Very misleading. You would think that the whole thing was just full of deep, dark, rich, yummy soil. And actually, it's only about an inch thick. But it looks great. So I'm going to get it really, really wet. Like really, really, really wet. I am going to flood this bed so that it soaks all the way down. I need this whole thing to get moist. And then hopefully this top layer will keep everything moist. Alright, so let me do that. Alright, I got a few things planted this evening before it gets too dark. I've got a Cubanelle pepper, and this video will also help me remember that the Cubanelle pepper is on this side of the bed, and the sweet banana pepper is on this side, because the pictures look very similar. So, Cubanelle, sweet banana, and then I have some California Wonder that I planted. I also mixed in some wildflowers. I put in some bachelor buttons, some nasturtium, dwarf Alaska mixed color. This is the California Wonder. Oh no, sorry, Carnival Blend sweet pepper. I planted some cucumber, early spring burpees hybrid. It is mid-June. I don't know if that's even gonna do anything. Giant double violet queen zinnia, and then night and day mix nasturtium. And I also planted some Joseph's Coat amaranth. I think that's gonna look really pretty. So I tried to get some flowers in there with the veggies. Have some other stuff that I didn't plant any more bok choy. I may do that tomorrow. I also need to find my squash and zucchini and pop in just a couple of those, because really it's a small bed. And the carrots are taking up a big chunk of the middle. But I'm happy. I'm happy with what I was able to get done today. The bed looks so pretty. I think I want to get a couple of more bags of composted manure and topsoil to mix and put in a lot of my flower beds, because they were only like $1.50 a bag at Home Depot. Well, less than $2, maybe $2. I think the topsoil might have been $2, but the compost was definitely like $1 something. So I may do that, mix up in the wheelbarrow and just top dress all of my beds. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm ready to take a shower and go to bed, so good night. Well, it's been a couple weeks, maybe 3, I'm not sure. And the bed is looking good. We've had several 100-degree days in a row, so I was out here watering today. I did get some squash planted, so there's one there. The bok choy actually perked up and is looking pretty good. The bok choy. And then the zinnias and other flowers that I planted. Also, there's a vine there. I don't remember planting that. I'm not sure if it's a squash. It doesn't look like a squash. It could be a morning glory. Maybe I planted one of those. I do not recall. Anyway, we'll see what that's going to be. And something has munched my kale, which I'm sure it's one of those cabbage moth thingies. I did plant some sunflowers on the back. I know it's late for those. We'll see what they do. My Swiss chard, something is making it just rot all the heck. Don't know what that is about. I'm telling you, I'm an awful gardener. It's another squash. More zinnias. Something is eating those. That's a nice looking bok choy leaf if I wanted a snack. Carrots are doing the best out of this bed, for sure. The cucumbers, and I think those are the cucumbers, because I also planted a squash. I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to find the seed packet and put up a picture. But they're cucumber or squash. The peppers, sweet banana peppers. They're teensy tiny, but there they are. And this confused me forever. This one right here, the little circular one, but that's a nasturtium. I was so confused. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I'm like, oh, duh, it's a nasturtium. Some canna lilies that came over in a pot of dirt that I had transferred over here, so that's kind of cool. I think those are the yellow ones with red speckles, but we'll see when those bloom. I'm not sure what that is there. It looks like it might be one of the squashes. I had I think planted a white patty pan squash. That could be it, but everything is so small. It's so small and puny. The tall, strappy, grassy things in there. That's the peacock orchid. It's in the gladiolus family. It's a really pretty picture. It's a pretty plant. And I was thinking I would insert a picture if I can find one on my phone. But that's everything. It is pretty sad, but that's okay, because I wasn't really focused on vegetable gardening this year, and it shows. I did put some stuff on the steps here, and I'm going to tell you, I do not remember the name of the spiky thing in the pot. It's some type of, I'm going to kick myself. I know what it is, and I'm drawing a blank. A friend of mine gave this to me. Jiminy Christmas. I'm going to think about it, and I'll let you know later. I'm sure you already know what it is. And I had a trifolium. This is another one of those 4-luck trifoliums, and I had it in the shade border by the man cave, and it looked like it was starting to die. It was just fizzling out into nothing, and the color was real faded out, and the tag did say full sun, and I had it in shade. And I dug it up and I put it in a terracotta pot, and I brought it out in full sun, and wow, it has colored up beautifully. And then I have a one of those 4-luck trifoliums, and the tags did say full sun, and I'm like, well, this is Texas, so they can handle shade, part shade, you know. They get like maybe a 3-hour block of sun in the late afternoon. But they're suffering, and they're just wasting away to nothing. Now I have 2 types of 4-luck trifolium, and I'm gonna have to find the tags. One of them is very minty green. It's like a mint green. This one is real burgundy, and it's so pretty. So I'm gonna find the name of that, let you know what that is. And then in this pot here is some thyme, and it's teensy tiny, little bitty, but it's growing, so that's good. And then my crazy looking salvia. It looks so sad, but the Mexican petunia in the back's doing fine. That's doing just fine. That salvia is all yellowed out and sad, and it's just hot. I did have to water this pot today. Everything was drooping really bad, so it had gotten pretty dried out. And I know the heat index, they said, was like 108 or 111 today, which is stupid. That's just stupid. Anyway, my mint in the back there in this pot, I did water that as well. I hadn't watered that in quite a few days. But mint is doing good. vegetable garden is meh. It's doing okay. So, oh, my car's parked in the yard because we're doing some work on our driveway. We're getting a carport in a couple weeks, so we're doing some driveway work before that happens. Anyway, that's what's going on today. Bye.